So, how did the Mexican War create these sectional struggles of the 1850s? Okay, so we have talked about in here how the Mexican War resulted in 1/3 of the total U.S. land. Kind of like the Louisiana Purchase. Okay, so when we fought the Mexican War, we gained 1/3 of our total country's landmass. All right?
It was all in the south.
Say again?
It was all in the south. All the land.
Not all.
Yeah. What did we get from Mexico that was in the north?
California was the west.
Like New Mexico, Arizona, that's kind of far. That's south, you're right. And then there's some above that, like Kansas, Nebraska. Okay, so the first thing that should come to your mind when we have a question like this is that in the Mexican War, after the Mexican War, we gained a tremendous amount of land, and this created lots of worries and fears among the states in the north and the south as to how we're going to keep that slave-free state balance. Okay? Y'all with me? All right, so that's going to be in your assertion. The first thing you want the person who's reading your paper to understand is that you realize that because of the Mexican War and the new territory that was gained, and how much was it? 1/3 of the total U.S. landmass. That because of that territory that we get, this reopens lots and lots of debates on whether or not those territories will be slave or free. Okay? So we're going to write this up as an assertion. Okay? Okay, so you ready? All right. After the Mexican War, the U.S. gained 1/3 of its total landmass in the West. And stop. Okay. In history, we refer to this landmass as the Mexican cession. You see this sometimes in the textbook. Okay, that's what it's referred to collectively. All right? Okay, so, all right, so what's the worry? What's the big deal? Why do we have all these fights between North and South? Okay, let's use a big word, acquisition of this new territory created disagreements. Would y'all say disagreements or debates or both?
You just disagree.
Let's put both. Why not? About what? Would be what?
The balance of power.
Slave or free? I like what Charity said. Northerners and Southerners worried about maintaining the balance of power. Okay, good job. So we have lots and lots of statements. We have 3 statements there, all about how people felt and the worries that went on and the debates and the disagreements. What came out of this new land from the Mexican War? All right, so you've got it all set up. Now you're ready to jump in with both feet. Okay, in the chapter, on chapter 18 talks about some of those compromises that the Congress tried to make to keep that balance of power that Charity just talked about. We're trying to keep the balance of power. So, I like to use our transition phrases. They're your friends, right? We're still in the same paragraph. We're going to go up here. At first, Congress tried to compromise on the issue of slavery in the West, didn't they? Okay. First compromise was the compromise of 1850. There you go. So, I like my transition words. They help me keep going. And they add emphasis. And they let my reader know basically what direction I'm going to. For example, the Compromise of 1850 contained concessions for both the North and the South, didn't it?
Yes.
Yes, okay. The North got the better end of the deal, right? We learned that, how they got the better end of the deal. And then right here where I have these ellipses, you're going to list what the North got. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Then you will put the South got and list what they got. So what did the North get? Compromise 1850.
California as a free state.
California's free.
The land disputed between New Mexico and Texas went to New Mexico.
That is correct. Texas lost that land and New Mexico got it. How about, and why is that for the North?
Because Texas is a slave state.
Because Texas is a slave state. Okay, third thing they got.
The abolition of the slave trade in Washington, D.C.
Right. That's the one people forget the most. Abolition of the slave trade in Washington, D.C. Okay? Those are the three things that the North got. And then the South got,
$10 million to Texas.
Texas got $10 million for losing that territory. What else did the South get? There's three things. It's in your notes. I just want you to say it. You're going to have time to write it out, okay? The Fugitive Slave Law. There you go. And what else?
Utah and New Mexico had a popular sovereignty.
Yes, popular sovereignty in the other lands from this, what I like to call, or not what I like to call, from the Mexican Cession. The other lands from the Mexican Cession will be decided by popular sovereignty. Okay? Now, this is, so you got all your facts, right? You told me everything that the Compromise of 1850 did. You told me what it gave the North, what it gave the South. Here comes the commentary. As a result, what happened with this North-South disagreement debate over this new land? Was the South happy? Was the South unhappy? South is unhappy and very good. And what did they threaten to do? To secede. Ah, very good. Okay, but they didn't. Why?
They scared.
Well, they're really not ready to leave yet, but there's something else that goes on.
The Kansas, Nebraska stuff.
Okay, that's after. We're going to Kansas and Nebraska. Okay, so go back and think. Look at chapter 18. They don't secede. They talk about meeting in Nashville and seceding from the Union. And they say, well, we're really not going to do that because we may be able to put slavery somewhere else.
Oh, it's like the Caribbean and...
Yes, okay. So in the meantime, they're like, everything's going to be okay, guys. Let's not secede just yet. Okay? Because we're going to go looking in other places in Central America. Maybe what places? Cuba and Nicaragua. Very good. Okay. So as a result, the South is upset because they do believe that the North got the better end of the deal. And they do threaten to go have a meeting in Nashville, and they do threaten to secede. However, they are not, like you said, they are not yet ready to do so. They're not ready to go to war. Okay, they're going to look around for other places where they can maybe have more land for slavery. And then what happened with that? What happened in Cuba? What happened with the Cuba deal?
They didn't want to be bought.
Cuba didn't want to be bought, but we were going to do it.
The Austin Manifesto.
We were going to do so. We're secretly going to do it. And what happened?
They found out.
They were found out, and then people kind of went up in arms like, what in the world is going on? These Southerners trying to get Cuba so they can have more of a slaveocracy? What happened in Nicaragua?
William Walker.
What happened to William Walker?
He got killed by mob.
Got killed by a firing squad. That was not a successful colony building. He tried to build a colony in Nicaragua, and those people didn't take too kindly to it. In fact, they put him in front of a firing squad. Okay? So you might talk about here, as a result, Southerners are very upset. They do threaten to secede Nashville, Tennessee. But for the meantime, for the interim, in the interim, y'all know that word interim?
Yeah.
Well, you do now. Okay? In the interim, they attempt to form slave colonies south of the United States, and you might talk about one of them. Okay? These attempts were unsuccessful. William Walker tried to build a colony in Nicaragua, and that failed. He was sent before a firing squad. And the attempt to buy Cuba for $120 million, a secret deal, was found out and failed as well. Okay? Yes, awesome. How are you?
The Austin Manifesto.
Yes.
That was the actual land
Yes.
that he was attempting to buy Cuba.
Correct.
Is that William Walker?
Yeah.
No,
No.
there wasn't.
William Walker is Nicaragua. We didn't have a name associated with Cuba. Okay? All right. Okay. Then you're going to talk about the other attempt to compromise. Here's another attempt to compromise with the Kansas-Nebraska Act. Here's what happens, kids. This act, and you'll tell me what it did. Thumbs up? Thumbs up? Down, sideways? Okay, good. As a result, and then you'll tell me if it got better or worse, and that is in your notes, kids. All right. See, I got a question before I let you write, and I go. Yes.
How was your day today?
It's been fabulous. Is it due
Yeah.
today?
Is it?
I really hope you can get done today. But if you cannot, you can bring it tomorrow. All right?
It's all one paragraph. Or
It's all one paragraph. You gotta get it all in one paragraph. It's a big old long paragraph, but it's one.
Okay.
Okay.